So as a clear woman myself, something I noticed is that a lot of clear women and men of color have a lot in common. So for thousands of years, clear women did not raise their children. Women of color raised clear women's children, even nursed their children. Which is why so many clear women have no maternal instinct and lack empathy and emotional intelligence and don't seem to really want to be bothered with their children and are not really nurturers, right? And it's another reason why so many clear people are drug addicts or homeless or messed up or have narcissistic mothers, and why society is doing the way it is. And it sounds a lot like someone else, who has no empathy or emotional intelligence, who's narcissistic and psychopathic and doesn't want to be bothered with their children and doesn't like raising their kids. But I digress. Clear women have a lot of Stockholm syndrome too. Clear men the same way. Men of color have a lot of Stockholm syndrome to clear men, right? And of course, clear women get clear privilege, which a lot of them know if they give it up, such as being woke or an N-word lover, or even going as far as having a biracial child with a clear womb that belongs to a clear man to reproduce for his race. She knows she's gonna have to pay the toll, and she will lose her privilege in society, right? If she goes against massa. And men of color really like having a proximity to clearness, right? Because they want to feel powerful. And a lot of them have Stockholm syndrome from buck breaking. And even back in slavery days, there was a lot of triangulation where some of the clear men and slave owners would treat different slaves differently. Like, say a slave was a good fighter, say a slave was a good singer, say certain slaves had different talents, they would be treated differently, right? And of course, above women of color, absolutely. You already know women of color were always at the bottom of the totem pole. So clear women and men of color were given these privileges that were slightly, above women of color, right? Which made them feel a little bit more important and superior. Even though women of color are the ones who are raising both of their fucking children for thousands of years, right? And it's funny how they try to paint women of color as the drug addict, ratchet mother, right? Who's the bad one who abuses her children, when it tends to be clear women, right? And how colonizers actually introduced child abuse to society in the first place, right? So it's a learned behavior by clear people. And it seems both clear women and men of color have no concern about anything but self.